Hi there, it's Beth Stefaniak with MessyMarriage.com and another edition of Sloppy Joe Time. Today I want to continue the conversation I started last week about coming to your spouse with the hurts that they've inflicted on you, to be careful not to vent or go through the back door of their heart, but to come around to the front of the house, ring the doorbell, ask permission to talk about that at another time when you both processed and prayed through it. And I'm not, in the next minute, going to be telling you the opposite of that, although it might sound like that. I think we need to have an expectation in that moment when our spouse comes to us with the hurt that we have inflicted, to have an expectation of what God can do in our hearts and lives, to look to Him to comfort us, to look to Him to give us the vulnerability and the humility we need to absorb the hurt that we've inflicted on our spouse. If we have an attitude of, we're human, and the culture in our marriage is one where we work through those messy moments, and we ask the Lord to soften our hearts and give us the strength to receive what our spouse says, I think we have this golden opportunity to break down barriers, especially if you're in a marriage where conflict is the constant factor, or there's tension or a feeling of alienation. This can really break through the barriers and communicate to your spouse that you are willing to take responsibility, that you're willing to receive what they have to say, that they're not crazy, that there really was a hurt that was inflicted, because we all as humans make those mistakes. And in that moment you could say, I'm really sorry that I did that. I didn't realize, but I know that must have really hurt. And I want to make that right. You can do that in the heat of the moment if you have the Lord guiding you and softening your heart. And later you could process through it. You don't have to discuss the whole thing right then and there, but have that really gracious response when your spouse comes to you with hurt. That's what I want to challenge myself to do. That's what I hope that you'll join me in challenging yourself in your marriage as well. And next time I'm going to be talking about the tool that my husband and I have used to process when we really sit down and talk through and process out a hurt or a conflict. And so I hope you'll join me next time for another Sloppy Joe Time. Thanks so much.